All right, so I guess for the topic of the week, we're gonna talk about Twitch and this
Mm.
super unfortunate, very long expose.
Yeah,
Yeah, I stopped halfway through. I was like, okay, I
I'm
get it. They're terrible.
yeah.
Like
I
what do
mean,
you want me to?
I will say I'm under no delusion that Twitch is like, or any of these places really are in any way truly invested in like equity.
It sounds a
And
lot
They
like
don't.
Uber.
Yeah,
they don't care.
it's not.
They
It
want to
is
appear to
not
care.
part of their fabric.
No.
Yeah, it's not part of their fabric, and that's why I'm not like. It's unfortunate, but I'm not surprised. Like I allow all of
Uh,
these big tech companies, like they're hostile environments, just
yep.
because they are.
They're the new
They're white
trader
boys
floors.
clubs. Yep.
Mhm.
Exactly, exactly. That
And
is
it's like,
exactly what it is. It is a hostile environment that you always like as a minority, whether it's, person of color or female, like it is just it's
it's not
very
for you.
hard
No.
to, yeah, it's not designed for you either. And so
No.
like you said, like it is everything it is like appear to make it, seem inclusive and this and that, but it's just it's all a farce, and
Yep.
um it's unfortunate, but it's not surprising,
Yeah.
yeah.
Not.
I was, yeah. I even just reading through it, I was like, I'm not surprised by this at all.
Nope.
which is
Which is
unfortunate.
sad.
Like that's
Which is
sad in and of itself, but yeah, like I don't think anybody here would be surprised to hear that Twitch is, hostile to like anybody that's not a white man.
Yeah.
But it's still just like we're talking about, we're saying out loud. And yeah, I mean I hope that I have not read that extremely long article, I got to be honest. Like I read the first couple paragraphs and I was like, okay, I get the gist. Like this is a fucking awful
Oh my
place
goodness.
to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
Um
was, I thought I had an infinite scroll going on. I was like, this thing gonna ever stop?
I don't
I was like,
You
this
know the
thing
crazy
is
thing is
infinite.
that that site is, I think it is an infinite scroll actually. Even if you do pass
dude.
the, I
I've
don't like that. Does anybody else like that?
I
And
hate
I
and
infinite
hate that
scroll. It's
crap.
the do
I
that
not
hate
take
is
me
that
to the
crap.
next fucking
terrible.
article. I'm just trying to get to the
It's
bottom.
terrible. It's terrible. I don't know who thought that. That is
It
terrible.
they
Excellent
didn't.
way to
They're not.
make money.
I was about to say they're not doing it because
Oh,
they
I know.
want you to enjoy the experience. They're doing it right to get you to read the next article without realizing it.
I'm
Like
not
they're
gonna do
hoping
Yeah.
that.
that that first paragraph of the next article pulls you in,
Yeah,
and now you're two, three articles in. It's that, and it's the cookies things that are annoying me because I go to a lot of sites on my phone, and those cookie things always pop up late on your phone. So you're
yeah.
halfway through the first paragraph, and then boop, now you gotta like
Yeah, and then they
no,
make the little exit button like super small that
No
you
bullshit.
actually can't click on it. You click on an ad on accident. Like,
yep.
man,
right.
fuck y'all. Y'all are some assholes, dog. Like seriously.
The
Like
worst.
seriously.
The
Like this
worst.
is but that's the other thing that just in general, like the tech world right now is, I
Yeah,
mean, we're basically putting our best minds to stuff like this, like trying to get you to stay on things longer, trying to get you to uh click just one more article, just
right.
one more, just kind of get you in that loop. All of our best minds are going to these big tech companies, and that's what they're working on. They're working on things like this and trying to trick people
Yep.
into staying on their platforms and thus selling those impressions to, people that are buying ads and things of the sort. So
Yep.
Yeah.
it's just such a, I feel like we're just wasting so much like brain power. We have like so many huge problems that we need to solve as a human race, you know.
Mhm.
And I think, like
We touched
more and
on
more,
this.
yeah,
Yeah.
every day, more and more every day. I have less and less confidence that there will be, human species on this planet in the next century or so. Like I feel like we're just gonna,
Implode.
yeah, like it is. We're at that point. I
Yeah.
mean, the fact that people aren't like follow like trusting facts anymore is just
It's
it is scary. It
I
is
feel like we've
scary.
had a
It is one
wave
of the
of
scariest things to happen.
yeah, like it's I don't know, like this rebelling against like being
Knowledge.
knowledgeable and knowing
Yeah,
things
knowledge.
and
It's
Yeah,
they
valuing
don't see it as
knowing
a they don't
they
see it as
don't.
a rebellion against knowledge because they just don't trust your facts. They're like, where'd you get that from? Oh, I don't trust that person. So
Dude,
it
Right.
I
doesn't.
cannot.
It has nothing to do with it. Like if you can't, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just like I was talking to Carl one time about like colors, right? We see colors, right? But I can't prove that the green that you see looks the same as the green that I see, right? There's no way for me to actually prove that. We just both see the same thing as green, but in our heads, maybe green and red are switched, right? You see
hmm,
red when I say green, and I see green when you say, but we don't know what it looks like to each other, and that's
Right.
kind of
yeah.
what they're.
It's an
That's what it
agreement.
is. Right, right, exactly. So we just know that we both agree on this thing is green. We don't actually know what it looks like, and that's the same thing they're doing. So that they need somebody to like they need some source that they can trust that isn't their opposition. And the problem is there is no such thing, right? You can't
No.
get it because the moment
Because you
it
view
sides with the
everybody that
opposition,
disagrees. Yeah, exactly. The
right,
moment you
right,
decide
right,
they're the
right.
opposition, at that point they're no longer credible to you. And it's like it's it's just insane because it's like on one hand there's like things that are objectively true that are proven and known and you're just like no. But I'm like
Yeah,
but you can't just say no. That's not a but it like none of it matters. It's none of it is based in anything that makes sense.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and what was I gonna say? There was something else. Oh, about the selling people's attention and stuff for massive profit. I feel like we touched on that when we were talking about the social dilemma, and I was
Mm,
mentioning how back when I had dreams of being a black founder, there's a lot of books that people suggest, and like one of them is this book basically about how to get people addicted to your software.
Hmm.
Like,
mm. What
and
was it called?
it's I don't know if I can trust you with that information though. Nah, I will have to look it up.
I think I know what you're talking about, though. I think I know what you're talking about.
And
I
it's
think
like
I have it
yeah,
on Audible. I haven't listened to it yet, though.
there's a slightly more ethical one about what I'm saying, habits and how to
Neurolinguistic
get people.
programming books.
You said what?
They're all neurolinguistic programming
Yeah,
books. Like they're,
yeah,
they're like okay, how to train habits and stuff like that. Yeah.
yeah. Um, so but yeah,
That's
it's really I don't know. It's real like gross, I guess, to me.
What
Just like why do you?
what's the what's the inflection point though, right? Because like I think we've all seen those mom and pop websites that are absolutely horrendous. You feel
Mhm.
accosted just looking at it, right? And then there's people that's studying neuroscience to actually get you addicted, making the icon the right color, getting the design
Yep.
just right.
Giving you the
What's
right feedback when you
what's
interact
like
with an element.
Mm.
exactly like what's the right spot on the continuum to be like, okay, it's pleasing enough that I can use it and it's useful to me, but I'm not going to be addicted to this, or I'm not going to develop some sort of dependency.
I feel like when you start out on that side, when you start out saying, I want to make this usable and I want to make it pleasing to use, versus like, I want as many people to stay on here as long as possible. Like, I feel like those are two, like, I feel like that right there is the key to make it something that people want to use, people can use, um, is a very that's a good goal to have for your website for your app. But I mean, the problem is that selling people's attention is very fucking profitable, and
yeah.
people like
That's
Absolutely.
money.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
It's really based on the your whole business model. You know,
yep,
if the business model is selling attention, then that's that's what you're going to optimize for. You
yep.
know.
So I'm gonna circle back to the topic of the week real quick. Where we were talking about Twitch's terrible culture, because like that's part of the reason why like Blerdimension exists. Like we there's it's I mean it's hard to be black in a white supremacist world. It's hard to be um a nerd and weird in a world that no, like certain norms exist and you're expected to conform, or you end up on the fringes. Like Preston was saying about like you start realizing how other people perceive you, and then you want to fall in line so that you can get, what I'm saying, the things that you want out of interactions with other people. Um, and so like yeah, this is the when you look at the landscape for um people who do what we're doing, talking about gaming, talking about tech, talking about, or even like being in the jobs that some of us have, like it's inordinately white and male.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, so, but like a big part of the reason that we're here, we want a space that's safe for all black people to come and like, be nerds, to engage in your niche, interests, and um we want to build community to that effect. That is like this type of terrible awful shit that happens to people at big tech companies is the exact reason why we're here doing what we're doing. And I mean, yeah, I